Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Darren Brazil. I'm sitting here with Vince Incognito. He hates it when I call him. Sorry, buddy. Hey, we're talking competitive gaming.
Yeah.
And the World Cup. Now, I'm a big World Cup fan. Huge
As I know,
fan.
as I know.
You're a big competitive gaming fan.
Yes, I am.
Specifically with Dota, right?
Yeah.
And we got to talking the other day, and we said these two worlds actually collide a lot better and play a lot better than we thought, right?
Absolutely,
Being fans of both. And so the one thing we found was that, in the world of soccer, at least in America, it's a mainstream sport that isn't really as respected as maybe baseball or basketball or football. It doesn't get the same attention.
Dota is very much to the average guy on the street something like, what's that game? Why would I play it? And then even once they start looking at it, they're like, oh my God, look how complex this is. I don't even want to mess with this.
Massive audience, but little mainstream coverage, right?
Right, exactly.
So we just thought, hey, if we share that in common, what else do we share in common? And maybe if we have stuff that we share in common, maybe I would become more of a Dota fan, and you might become more of a World Cup fan. So we broke it down a little bit, and we started talking about things. The first thing we came up with was strategy, right? So soccer very much, especially the World Cup, right, when it's so competitive, it's a lot of little nuances, a lot of little things to the game that leads to ultimately a big moment, a goal.
Well, that you basically just described Dota. Like if you didn't say anything about scoring goals or anything specific to the sport, you would have just described exactly how Dota is played. But the point is that there's a million little things that you have to do to ensure that your team is going to be successful once they get out of that laning phase. And just like in soccer, everything is about positioning. Is my team in position to react to this push on our top lane? In this team fight, are we, do we have enough people far enough up front? Do we have someone who can initiate on the other team properly to create the space that we need to engage properly? Like all these little nuances of just inches.
And so you talk about teams, like I have my own teams in soccer. On the club level, I'm a huge Chelsea fan. Sorry, leave hate in the comments. When it comes to obviously the World Cup, like I'm American. I'm partial to the United States team. Like I have a passion for them to watch them play. What does that mean then in Dota? Are there teams, and how do you go about picking your favorite team? Who's your favorite team and why? I mean, how does that work?
Well, it's funny because we do have teams. It's an international sport. It's an internationally played game. So every team is kind of recruited mostly out of the same general area. Now there are teams that have a little more diversity to them, but in general, like they do fall on nationalistic lines. Like my favorite team isn't even a U.S.-centric team. It's I know I'm terrible. Leave your hate in the comments. I'm all about a Ukraine team. Na'Vi. They're very Native Spencer. They're very, very popular, just for their dynamic play and. But yeah, you absolutely do. Like countries get behind. Like you see people waving flags. I was watching D2L this weekend, which is a big tournament that's going on right now. And people, when one team would win, they USA in the stream chat. So it's very nationalistic. So people do form those kind of connections with their teams in Dota.
You can sit there and watch the game. I can sit there and watch a soccer match. Get super into it. I'm like, I just got to go out and play now. Like I get that urge, right? Just to kick the ball around, play a little footy, and like I can go do that. All I need is a ball and a couple mates.
Right, soccer's great. Soccer's great that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as good, obviously, and I fail as miserably unlike what I see, but I'm able to do that. And with Dota, you can do the same kind of thing, right? You could watch someone play competitively and almost emulate that on your own level.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing about it is that all you need to do what they're doing is a computer that hits the minimum system requirements, and the game is totally free. You don't need a maxed out machine to play Dota. Absolutely not. That's not a requirement. But I think what else is interesting about the spectator culture and how that intersects with doing as my favorite player does is that if I saw a great game played by someone, a player that I love, all I'd have to do is download that match replay, and I can actually view it entirely from their perspective. Not just where the screen follows their character, but I can see everywhere they looked, everywhere they clicked, everything they did. I know exactly where they're looking and exactly what they were buying and what they were clicking.
So a lot of things, right? The way you go about strategy, team allegiance, spectator culture, all these things lined up. And so I'm starting to see a lot of similarities, but this one's going to nail it home for me, right? Is there a Cristiano Ronaldo of Dota?
Definitely Navi's, again, the team I mentioned before, Navi's Dendi is absolutely Dota's Ronaldo.
You showed me a picture of this guy.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude.
Yeah.
The way he plays is just so dynamic and entertaining. He's always coming up with new and interesting ways to like kind of game the system and use the rules of the game in ways that people never would have thought. And I mean, he's got those. There's a joke, he plays a character named Pudge who's got this hook move where he pulls in an opponent character. So people say Dendi's got those. He's got those Pudge hooks in the club. So yeah, Pudge is the name of the character. He's got those hooks in the club.
Beckham bent it like that.
Exactly.
So, right. So
exactly. Nice. Hook him like Dendi. That's what we say. Hook him like Dendi.
Hey, so if you have a favorite soccer player, leave in the comments. You got a favorite Dota player, leave in the comments. We'd be interested to know. Hey, this is cool, man. I think it's really awesome when you could see things that parallel between games and sports and other things and just brings you together. It really gives you, because I would never, ever watch a competitive sporting event, ever.
Right.
But when we talked about it, you get me excited for it. And I hope the same applies with soccer, too.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
I hope this Sunday you're sitting with me watching soccer.
No,
and maybe next Sunday I'll come to your place and watch Dota.
It's going to happen, bro. And like to me, the thing that's got to end is like it's not nerds versus jocks.
Yeah.
In the 21st century, we're all the same, man.
All the same.
So come on over, have a beer.
Peace and love. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you like the World Cup, maybe give Dota a shot. If you like Dota, give the World Cup a shot. Thanks for watching, and Vince, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure.
For more World Cup, we have our predictions up on our site, IGN.com. And for more Dota, obviously keep it locked, IGN.com.